Other than stones, is there anything that's more common and could be found anywhere and everywhere? Stones and ground can be found anywhere, like the bottom of the sea. It's not interesting at all. Hello everyone. There are though some rocks and stones that are exciting and interesting enough to surprise you and make you feel as if you have wandered into some fantasy world. So today, I would like to introduce to you some fascinating rocks and stones from around the world. Welcome to our channel. Be prepared to forget all your worries for 10 minutes. Let's begin. Split Apple Rock, New Zealand. In Tasman Bay, near the north coast of New Zealand's South Island, in the middle of the ocean, there are two huge rocks, or more precisely, two rocks that look like apples cut in half. Don't you dare try to taste these apples, because it really is just a stone. The locals, the Māori people, believe that the rock represents the god's wrath they believe in. The daughter of God fell in love with an ordinary fisherman. Her father, the god, was against such unequal marriage. The god brought a giant apple, split it in two, and said that they could be together if they put this back together. Obviously, they weren't able to do anything. There is another legend. It is said that one day, two gods were fighting over this round stone, and in the end, they decided to share it. On the other hand, geologists offer a more uninteresting explanation. According to them, this is a natural phenomenon called cleavage. In the case of split apple rock, the cause of cleavage was due to the constant cooling and shrinkage of the lava. The granite that created the split apple rock is truly an igneous rock. There goes all the myths and legends thanks to science. Still, we support you if you want to believe in the legends. When it comes to legends, it's not the why, but the how that is conveyed, so there is no big contradiction. Devil's Marbles Conservation Reserve, Australia. If you go 100 kilometers south of Tennant Creek, Australia, you'll see hundreds and thousands of scattered rocks in the middle of a wasteland. So you may ask, what's so interesting about that? Obviously, the answer is its looks. Some of these rocks look as if some Jedi had neatly sliced them up with a lightsaber. Some are also held together perfectly balanced with each other as if a gigantic round granite egg. Some believe this may be a primitive artifact, like the Northern Scandinavian CDs. Today, however, most scholars believe that the Devil's Marbles, also known as Karlu Karlu in the indigenous language, is a natural product. The Devil's Marbles formed when lavas, with granite components, flowed into a layer of sandstone. Since granite is harder than sandstone, over time, as weather removed the piled up sandstones, it exposed the granites. Through such a complex process, Karlu Karlu formed this irregular shape. If you plan to visit the Devil's Marbles, please remember that this is more than just a protected area under Australian law. This is a sacred place for indigenous people, such as the Alyawar, Keitetche, Warumungu, and Walpiri, who have conducted ceremonies for thousands of years. Let's show respect to these facts and the long culture of the local people. Nasla, Saudi Arabia. In the middle of the Arabian desert, in the Tema Oasis in Tabuk province, there is a huge rock called Nasla. The fact that this rock stands securely and firmly balanced on a small platform is enough to surprise people. But as if that were not enough, the rock is cut evenly and in half. It can't be a Jedi again, training or something, can it? Nasla is loved quite a bit by UFO researchers and other history alteration enthusiasts. So, it is pretty challenging to find any kind of accurate information about this stone. The fact that Saudi Arabia is a relatively closed country, and if not Muslim, researchers cannot even be there, which only makes it more difficult. Still, scholars have some explanation. Perhaps the same natural mechanisms occurred here as in Australia and New Zealand. After a block of granite surfaced, it broke either by an earthquake or external erosive action. No need to wonder why it split perfectly in half. It happens quite commonly in lavas. Carnac Stones, France. You don't always have to go somewhere far away like Arabian or Australian deserts to find a remarkable rock. Civilized Europe is definitely enough to amaze you all. In the Breton region of France, there is the largest group of megaliths in the world. More than 3,000 gigantic stones here are arranged nicely and neat. As per the legend, the advisor of King Arthur, sorcerer Merlin, once turned the Roman army into a rock. The ancient Celts in this region clearly considered the site sacred. Here, people were buried and ceremonies were held. However, it is not known who exactly placed these megaliths. In general, Celts usually used rocks left behind by someone before them. Perhaps you may be surprised, but modern heavy equipment is not needed to haul these rocks. Just ropes and many people with sleds would be sufficient. Oh, and of course, a strong will. But still, building a huge stone garden is not the same as putting up a few giant rocks in a row. To do this requires a significant centralization of power. Unfortunately, the ancient king who was able to unite so many people for such a massive task has long been forgotten, and we do not know which people he ruled or what period he lived in. He must have been an excellent organizer and mentor. Stone Spheres of Costa Rica. Perhaps the most unique tourist attraction in the small and peaceful Central American country of Costa Rica is the mysterious stone sphere. Many stone spheres have been found on the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, at the mouth of a river called Ducuy in the local language, and on Isla del Cano. The smallest is a little over an inch in size, while the largest is 2 meters in diameter and weighs several tons. What they all have in common is that they are almost perfectly spherical. We do not know who made this and what its purpose is. If scholars knew where this sphere's original location was, they might have a better explanation, but locals constantly move it to a popular spot for tourists. However, in Bosnia, New Zealand and Russia, a similar spheric object has been discovered. These are natural products. But why are there so many in Costa Rica? It is unknown. Please let us know your hypothesis in the comment section below. Megaliths of Nabta Playa, Egypt. If someone tells you that the ancient Egyptian civilization suddenly appeared out of nowhere, say to that person about the mysterious people who built the primitive observatory at Nabta Playa. Even if they say that Stonehenge is the oldest observatory made of stone, let them know about Nabta Playa. Today, Nabta Playa is a lonely and isolated location, but it was not always so. According to scholars, thousands of years ago, this was a thriving oasis. Most likely, there lived people who became the ancient Egyptians' ancestors. Their very religion likely formed the later Egyptian beliefs of Hathor, Osiris, and Thoth. Sacrifices were offered to these gods. Furthermore, the local inhabitants built a huge stone circle. The stone circle still stands here. They are the silent witnesses of the first steps taken by the oldest civilization on Earth. And this concludes the ranking of amazing rocks and megaliths. Thank you for watching. We hope you liked this video. Please subscribe, like, comment, and spread the word about this video on social networking sites. That will be a significant contribution to the development of our project. So now it's time to say goodbye until next time. See you all again. Goodbye.